Child of God, this is why you should never be afraid of isolation. I was talking to my sister this morning and God dropped this in my heart and it really ministered to us both. The word was, God's emotional healing does not happen in crowds. God's emotional healing takes place in isolation. Just as the seed is thrown into the ground and, dirt is used to cover it and nobody can see what is happening, but yet inside what starts to take place is a process of metamorphosis, so is it with God when he's healing our emotional wounds. Many of us are, broken in so many different ways, some big, some small. And there's seasons and times when if God is calling you yonder and God wants to do something new in you, he has to heal certain brokenness, okay? He's such a compassionate God that he doesn't heal everything in one go. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean that everything is like completely gone. He takes us through stages. And as you rise, there's certain pillars, there's certain things that need to be peeled off. That is the emotional healing that I'm talking about. And you know what? Sometimes why separation is important is because people around us can become a crutch. If I hurt my leg today, right, and I was walking with a crutch, it's appropriate. But actually, if it is 2 months down the line and I'm supposed to have been walking by then, if I'm still using my crutch, we know what happens. The crutch is now stopping the healing. So there are times when God takes away people who love you or whom you love because he's saying, listen, I know that this is a good crutch. I know it's meaning that you don't have to go through physio and be in pain, but I need you to be in pain because it is only when you're in pain that I can meet with you. How do we know that? Think of Jacob. Jacob did not go through an identity change when he was cool, calm, and collected. What happened was he went yonder. He left his wife, he left everything that he had acquired and pushed forward with God. And at daybreak on his own, without any guards, God met with him. He fought with God and God changed his identity. Moses was alone in a faraway land in Midian where he had run away from from Pharaoh. But not only was he in Midian, this day where God met with him in the burning bush, Moses had gone further than he normally goes to a place called Horeb, which is a mount of God, right? That's where God met with him in the burning bush alone. And also, if we follow this through, Jonah in the fish, what happened? He was alone and God met with him. Ruth, ladies, was not with friends, was not with a crew. When she was at the threshing floor, when she met Boaz, she was on her own. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with community, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying there's seasons where you need to follow with God alone. There's seasons where God is saying, there's certain things I'm unpacking. There's certain layers I am removing. That is a me and you job. So don't be afraid of that season. It doesn't mean that everything else around you is bad. It just means that in its love, maybe it's becoming a crutch, right? Physio is painful, yet it's helpful. So there are times when separation is needed so that God actually brings to fruition that which he has put in the inside of you. So don't be afraid of isolation, but don't also make it about you. Let it be about God.